All right, well, here's the next notable quotable here from the great Michael Levine. He said, "There are several styles of pitching, but all have two principles in common. They appeal personally to the individual being contacted, even if he or she is a stranger, and they rely on logic to make a case." So we've talked a little bit about knowing who you're pitching to and what appeals to them. What's this logic-based?
Okay, John Maxwell has a quote, and our program observer can add it to the screen, because I know I'm going to paraphrase it and mangle it, but he talks about how people are led by their heart, and their head follows. So is true with all humans. I mean, so the reporters, a story about, example, there's one reporter I worked with a while back who absolutely hated my political candidate of choice.
Right.
Hated him. Hate. And if you Google search, you'll end up finding this story, so you can do your research. And I decided I'm going to do something that I know will piss him off so much that he can't help but write a story slamming me.
Ooh.
He has to, because he hates the candidate that I'm for.
Yeah.
And if I do something that'll piss him off, he will definitely write about it. I know him, play him like a harp.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm going to go ahead. So I said a thing, talk to guy. Sure enough, phone call. Dude calls. Clay Clark. Yeah, hey, got this press release. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Don't you know that I'm like, yeah, I know. I figured it'd be touche, like a fun debate here. Well, I'll tell you this. You willing to go on the record? I'm going to be, got it framed up in my office too. I love it.
I love it. Yeah. Well, but also, I mean, you talk about this guy that's pro-military, right? So obviously, if you present him with a military story, it's going to touch his heartstrings. But if there's no logic base to it, no reason to write the story, he probably still won't.
That's where you got to come in with that logic sandwich. You get that, emotion, but you got to get the logic on the logic's kind of like the bread.
Yeah.
The emotion's in that middle. It's the core that holds it together. Yeah. But that logic, you're like, well, this is an actual fact. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
There is a statistic out there that blows my mind. I want our fact checker to look this up here. But in America, we have a little over half of all the jobs that are created by small business owners.
Right.
So there's different data. You can look it up, and we'll put up on the screen here in just a minute. But it's a little over half of all the jobs in the past decade have been created by small business owners.
Okay.
Well, in Oklahoma, you have well over 70% of all of these jobs are created by small business owners. So one would think that if 70% of the people in Oklahoma, one of America's strongest economies, and Texas, one of America's strongest economies, if well over half of the jobs are being created by small business owners, one would think there's probably a need for education for these people.
Right.
I mean, because the college trains you how to become a good employee, but they don't teach you how to become a business owner. But in the strongest economies in the country, follow my logic, if the strongest economies in the country have small business dependent economies, it would seem to me that you would need some kind of education for these people that obviously is beyond college, because they already have degrees. Very educated people. So then you make that statement, but then the reporter's like, yeah, well, where'd you get that stat?
Right.
So just like now, we'll put it on the screen, but like the SBA has statistics that show this, the Small Business Administration. Inc. magazine has done articles about this. Entrepreneur magazine has done them. And the U.S. Chamber has done research on this. And all of a sudden, they're like, you're not crazy. This isn't your opinion. This is a fact.
So this is you calling up somebody that likes to write about education. Heartstrings are involved, but now you've got the statistics, that logic, the bread.
Or someone who really doesn't, and I know enough about them to be antagonistically
playing the harp again.
Positive.
Right. That's
beautiful. And I know how they're going to get mad, and I'm ready for it.
Perfect.
Bam!
The next notable quotable here from Michael Levine is,
come on.
No matter how impersonal the media seem, they're staffed by real people. It's incredible. Real people. Though they sift through hundreds of calls and pieces of mail every day, they invariably respond to what touches their emotions. Reach the person in the media, and bingo, you've reached the media. So that's helping us keep in mind these are real people.
Yep.
It's not impossible to touch them. Why else is this so important for him to touch on?
Recently, I was featured in a publication where the lady who wrote the story, totally was living the Thrive life.
Really? What does the Thrive life look like?
It's the nightlife. We like the boogie.
It's the nightlife.
No, but here's it. She was basically was a reporter at a big company, and she found out that she was losing her job because they're downsizing. So now she's like, I have a degree, I've got a master's. I've got all the things I needed. You said if I did these things, I would have a job. You said.
Yeah.
Now she doesn't have a job, and now she has to go out and write as a freelance writer for the rest of her life.
Right.
Because the job's not coming back. So now she's like, I'm going to have to find a way to get clients. I'm going to have to find a Dream 100 system.
Right.
I'm going to have to find a sales system. I'm going to have to find someone to mentor me and keep me positive. I need to find a time management system. I need to learn how to balance my budget. I need to learn how to thrive. And so we sent her stuff, and she was like, this is exactly what I've been looking for on a personal level. This is exactly what I need. Do you know that I'm a freelancer? Now, I know I didn't. And all of a sudden, this lady who really wasn't interested in what our story was about became very interested in Thrive.